Shalom, everyone, and welcome to Just a Word. This is Kazak Aliyahu, and I am here with a very different teaching today. A thought provoking teaching, I would say. It is one of those teachings where it is something you might not have looked into. And that is the fact that if we are found to be unintelligent, then we will be judged. We will be judged for our lack of understanding. And this, I say, is thought-provoking because imagine, we do not have understanding. And the Most High is going to judge us. We are going to be condemned for not having understanding. That doesn't make any sense, does it? And I'm telling you that this has implications, many implications, especially for those in religion. Those people who believe that all they have to do is to do a particular thing and leave it at that. So, for example, the Christians say, all we have to do is to confess Jesus and believe in him, and we are saved. It is for things like those. It is for things for those believers who do not think that they should diligently study scriptures, do not think that they should diligently seek after spiritual things, to dig into spiritual things, to present their bodies living sacrifices, to seek spiritual things of the Most High, thinking that they will be justified simply because of what they do or what they believe. Now, this came about as I was looking through judgment of the Most High in the book of Romans, and in Romans chapter 1. Starting at verse 28, the Most High told us that, about certain things that will cause us to incur his judgment. And it flowed into chapter 2 when he tells us that those who do these things will be judged by the Most High. And these things, I am telling you, these things are different measuring sticks that we could use to measure ourselves to see whether or not we are in the faith. Examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves how that Yahushua HaMashiach is in you, except you be reprobates. So because we do not want to be reprobates or rejects, then we have to search to see if we are in the faith. This is very important. Now, when you go to Romans 8 from verse 29 to 31, it tells us different things about which we will be judged. Now, if people were searching, looking into the meanings of these things, and I'm telling you that looking into the meanings is very, very profound. Because when I searched into the meanings of each of these, I saw different things that I'm saying that, whoa, if I had not searched, I would not have known this. How many people are searching the meanings of these words to see how we are here in iniquity or here in transgression, and we don't know it? Yes? You see, the New Testament is to explain the Torah. The New Testament also, the Torah shows us what sin is, but the New Testament also gives us insight into sin by telling us different things that we do that cause us to sin. All right? So one of them is being without understanding. In verse 28, it says, and even as they did not like to retain Alua in their knowledge, Alua gave them over to a reprobate mind. A reprobate mind. To do those things which are not convenient. So in order to not be reprobate, we have to know these things. And he told us the things that the Most High gave them up to. Being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters of Alua, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful. What we want to look at today is this one, without understanding. So we see without understanding is a ground for us to face the judgment of Alua. Imagine that. How many people can you tell, oh, you are without understanding? And remember, the understanding that we are speaking about is not the understanding that you get in your classroom, but the wisdom that comes from the Most High, which is a spiritual wisdom. Because the natural man, as it says in 1 Corinthians 3:19, for the wisdom of this world is foolishness with allure. For it is written, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness. So it's not speaking about these people you have in your PhD, you're a lawyer, you're an accountant, you're a teacher, you're a doctor, you're a nurse, you're a whatever. It's not speaking about that wisdom. It's speaking about the spiritual wisdom which the people who are in this world consider to be foolishness. 1 Corinthians 1:27. But Allah hath chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. And Allah hath chosen the weak things of the world to confuse the things which are mighty. 1 Corinthians 3:18. Let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seem to be wise in this world, let him become a fool that he may be wise. So the wise that we're speaking about is the spiritual wisdom that the wise consider to be foolishness. So if you do not have that wisdom, then you will be judged. So those of us going about justifying ourselves, exalting ourselves for the wisdom that we got from this world, some pastors will tell you about what they learned in seminary, etc. This is the wisdom they're talking about. Those seminary things, these are wisdom of this world. And did you know that the Most High will hide our hearts from understanding so that we will not be exalted? Because understanding comes from the Most High. It is He that gives us understanding. So, as Solomon asked of the Most High in 1 Kings 3:9, give therefore thy servant an understanding heart to judge thy people, that I may discern between good and bad. For who is able to judge this thy so great a people? It's the Most High who gives us understanding. Psalms 119:34. Give me understanding, and I shall keep thy law. Yea, I shall observe it with my whole heart. So without the Most High giving us understanding, we cannot even obey Him. Yeah? That's how important it is to get the understanding from the Most High. So, in Psalms 111, verse 10, it tells us, though, the part that we can play in getting understanding. Psalm 111, verse 10, the fear of Yahuwah is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments. His praise endureth forever. So we can help getting a good understanding, getting a reward from the Most High by doing his commandments. It's by doing his commandments that we will get his understanding. He will give the understanding to us. So he will hide our hearts from understanding, so we will not be exalted. Job 17, verse 4. Job 17, verse 4. For thou hast hid their heart from understanding, therefore shalt thou not exalt them. So if we are hidden from understanding, guess what? We will not be exalted. Because without understanding, we are going to be condemned. We are going to be judged. Matthew 13:10 onwards tells us again about the same principle of the Most High withholding understanding from whom he will. This is very important to understand. These people who are dumb in religion, dumb without wisdom, sitting, sometimes thinking that you have made it, thinking you have reached it. The Most High wants you to hunger and thirst for righteousness' sake. He wants us to go down and seek out understanding, seek out his wisdom. Matthew 13:10. And the disciples came and said unto him, Why speakest thou unto them in parables? He answered and said unto them, Because it is given unto you it is given, to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. So understanding is not given to everyone. So it's not everyone is going to understand. It's not given to everyone. For whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. And whosoever hath not, from him shall be taken away, even that he hath. Therefore speak I to them in parables, because they seeing see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which saith, By hearing ye shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing it ye shall see, and shall not perceive. So it's going to tell you why they don't understand. And this is now why we will be judged for lacking understanding. It's not that we are just lacking understanding, it's that we are willingly not seeking his understanding. In Jeremiah 29:13, it says, And ye shall seek me and find me when ye shall search for me with all your heart. If we don't search for him with all our hearts, we will not find him. And the greatest commandment is to love Yahuwah Allah with all our hearts, minds, and soul. If you love him, you will seek him. When we are in this world and we are going after a partner, if we love that person, if we have such a strong desire for the person, we will do everything to seek out that person, to make sure that person will be our wife or our husband if you're a woman. Yes? We'll do everything. The Most High expects us even more to seek him. And if we don't, then the onus is not on him, it's on us. The blame is now on us. Why didn't you seek me? That is the question. And in the same book of Romans, chapter 2, it tells us the same thing. Before I go there though, let me just continue in Matthew 13 to show that it is because of our choice where we get into problems. For this people's heart is waxed gross. The word gross, meaning to thicken, that is by implication to fatten, stupefy, or render callous. So they have hardened their hearts, and because they have hardened their hearts, their ears become dull of hearing, they now cannot hear. Because we are not receptive to him, our ears become deaf. On our eyes we have closed because we are now blinded, going after our own desires and not after Yahuwah. Lest at any time they should see with their eyes and hear with their ears and should understand with their heart and should be converted, and I should heal them. So he makes sure he closes up our eyes, hearts, and ears so we cannot understand. And this principle, this blame, who is to blame about this, is given in the book of Romans, chapter 2. When he said, no, I think it's Romans chapter 1. Yes, this principle is given in Romans chapter 1, verse 18. For the wrath of Yahuwah is revealed from heaven against all unholiness and unrighteousness of men who hold the truth in unrighteousness. So you hold the truth and you're walking in unrighteousness. Now here is the reason why we don't have any excuse to lack understanding. Because that which may be known of Yahuwah is manifest in them. For Yahuwah had showed it unto them. The Most High has shown us what we need to know about him so that we go and seek after him. When I was agnostic and the Most High revealed himself to me through my belief, because I reached in a position where I was helpless, and I remembered what they told me when I was in those Sunday school little boy days, that if you believe in JC and you pray to God in his name, he will hear you. When I did that and it worked, I said, whoa, he exists, the Most High exists, what can I do but to serve him? This is the same principle that we need to do. Okay? And by the way, I pray to JC, that doesn't mean that he is the Messiah. And God, that is a whole separate thing that we might cover as to the names and what you pray to and how the Most High knows your heart, and looks according to the desires of your heart. All right? Even though you are in ignorance. As it says in Acts 17, I think, at the time of this ignorance, Allah winked at, but now commands every man everywhere to repent. He winks at our ignorance when we are in false religion, but when we get to the knowledge, then we have to repent. That's it. Anyway, because that which may be known of Allah is manifest in them, for Allah has showed it unto them. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and sovereignty, so that they are without excuse. That is it. He showed us that he exists. You can see the sun loyally coming out every morning, the moon going through its cycle, the blue skies up there, we see creation, we see the insects, we see the vegetation, we see the earth, we see everything manifesting the splendor of Allah. When that happens, the onus is on us now to go and seek him. So if we are found without this understanding, woe be unto us. But there is something significant about when we are without understanding. When we are without understanding. Let me show you again how the Most High penalizes us for being without understanding. The book of Isaiah, chapter 27, verse 11. When the boughs thereof are withered, they shall be broken off. The women come and set them on fire, for it is a people of no understanding. Therefore, he that made them will not have mercy on them, and he that formed them will show them no favor. The people of understanding that are lacking understanding, the Most High will show them no mercy, and he will show them no favor. Yes? Notice it says, it's speaking about Yasharal. When the boughs thereof are withered, when we are withered up, when we are gone on the wrong path, we will be broken off. This, of course, as Shaul referred to in Romans 11 about grafting in, that the branches were broken off so that the Gentiles could be grafted in. It says, the women come and set them on fire. This is what happens when our people need grafting, are broken off, then women come and take over, and the women lead them. That is why today you have the women leading, women pastors, women apostles, women leading this world in all forms, women. All right? For it is a people without understanding. Now, persons without understanding, the Bible calls them fools. Let's go to Sirach 22, verse 13, and see this that the Most High said about the fools. Sirach 22, verse 13. Well, this is a short video, it should be, but verse 13. Talk not much with a fool, and go not to him that hath no understanding. Beware of him, lest you have trouble, and thou shalt never be defiled with his fooleries. Depart from him, and thou shalt find rest, and never be disquieted with madness. So you don't even make much of a conversation with those who have no understanding. Beware of him, lest you have trouble. So if you are there with him, spending time with him, you will have trouble, and you will be defiled with his fooleries. Depart from him, and you will find rest. If you stay with persons without understanding, you will not have rest, and you will be disquieted with madness. You see why the Most High has to cut off those without understanding. You see how much trouble they will give. Proverbs 10, verse 18 gives us more. He that hideth hatred with lying lips, and he that uttereth a slander is a fool. Fools will hide hatred with their lies. They will be there flattering with their lies, hiding their hatred, and will be uttering slanders. Verse 23. It is a sport to a fool to do mischief, but a man of understanding hath wisdom. So this fool, this person who lacks understanding, will be doing mischief. This is unrighteousness. Everything with a fool, with someone who lacks understanding, will be unrighteousness. So he will be doing unrighteousness, but the man of understanding will have wisdom and will not be sold to do mischief. Proverbs 12, verse 15. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, But he that hearkeneth unto counsel is wise. So this fool, this person who lacks understanding, his way will be right in his own eyes. He will be hearkening unto his own counsel. Whatever he decides, that is it. Yes? But the person who hears counsel is wise. The one who has understanding will be able to hear counsel and will say, yeah, that's what you said. It makes sense. I see what you're saying. Yeah? Proverbs 14, verses 6 to 9. A scorner seeketh wisdom, and findeth it not. But knowledge is easy unto him that understandeth. So the scorner will also be those who lack knowledge. He will be seeking the wisdom, and the Most High will not be letting him receive it. So he will not be receiving what? Knowledge. Hosea 4 verse 6 says what? My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. So lack of knowledge destroys us. And it is shown here that without understanding, we will not have knowledge. So that is why we will be judged for not having understanding. Go from the presence of a foolish man, when thou perceivest not in him the lips of knowledge. So stay away from him. That's what the Bible is telling you. The wisdom of the prudent is to understand his way, but the folly of fools is deceit. So the prudent, the one who studies to show himself approved, who digs after, seeks wisdom, he will understand his way. He will understand right from wrong. He will understand the path that he is going. Yes? But the folly of fools is deceit. Fools will be walking in deceit. Verse 9, fools make a mock at sin, but among the righteous there is favor. You see again why we will be judged for being unrighteous. The fools will be mocking sin. Those who are righteous will receive favor because they will be walking along the right path with understanding. Sirach 47, verses 22 to 25. It's how we should close it. But Yahuwah will never leave off his mercy, neither shall any of his works perish. Neither will he abolish the posterity of his elect, and the seed of him that loveth him he will not take away. Wherefore he gave a remnant unto Jacob, and out of him a root unto David. Thus rested Solomon with his fathers, and of his seed he left behind him Rehoboam, even the foolishness of the people. So Solomon was known as the wisest man. Now here we have his son Rehoboam, called the foolishness of his people because he lacked understanding. It was this lack of understanding that made him lose the 10 northern tribes, because he made a bad decision based on his lack of understanding. Even the foolishness of the people, and one that had no understanding, who turned away the people through his counsel. This is what he did, turned away the 10 tribes through his own bad counsel. There was also Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, who caused Yasharal to sin, and showed Ephraim the way of sin. Jeroboam caused Israel to sin through his lack of understanding. And their sins were multiplied exceedingly that they were driven out of the land. So when you have lack understanding, you're going to make errors, you are going to multiply sin. Sin will be added unto sin because of our lacking understanding. Verse 25, for they sought out all wickedness till the vengeance came upon them. So sin is cumulative. Over time, sin adds to sin, to iniquity, and that will cause us to seek out all wickedness. Sin is glued to sin. Sin will be attracted to sin and to sin and to sin. And when you look, we'll be seeking out all sorts of wickedness. All right? So this is why we will be judged for our lacking in understanding. It will add sin to sin. It will keep us in sin. It will keep us away from our ability to stay away from sin. It will keep us indulging in sin. And so we will be carried away on the wrong path, carried away by other people who may be tricking us, deceiving us, or who themselves may be lacking understanding, as it is in some religions. or we will be carried away by our own counsels. That is why the Most High tells us to gather together. We gather together to get understanding. The Most High will put people over us who will teach us and who will lead us. And those people are the ones who will feed us with understanding. Okay? All right. So don't rest in our own counsels. The Most High will give us, is it in Psalm 81? I think verse 11, the Most High told us about what he would do. I vaguely remember this. Psalms 81 verse 11. But my people would not hearken to my voice, and Yasha'al will none of me. So I gave them up to their own heart's lust, and they walked in their own counsels, their own understanding. They walked in their own understanding. And I, the Most High said, I gave them up unto their own heart's lust, because they would not listen to me. This is why it's important to listen. As the word says, faith cometh from hearing, and hearing by the word. We have to listen. We cannot be strong-headed, hard-hearted, stubborn, stiff-necked, all of those things. We have to hear. And when we hear, what do? Prove all things. Hold fast that which is good. That will keep us away from lacking understanding. That will keep us away from the judgment of the Most High, because we lack understanding. All right, so thank you all for being with us on this one. And until next time, Shalom.